Okay, you may not be familiar with the sport of bocce, but my next guest is someone you're going to want to meet. 11-year-old Nico, Ironman Iemma, not only plays the game, but he is one of the best in this country, already beating adults in competition who already have years of experience ahead of him. So it's no surprise that young Nico was recently named Parasport Junior Athlete of the Year. He joins us along with his parents, Susan and Patrick Iemma in Oshawa, Ontario. Hey, Iemma gang, how's everybody doing?
Fantastic.
We're good. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having me.
It's our pleasure. Okay, Nico, congratulations, bud. What does it feel like to be named the Parasport Junior Athlete of the Year?
Yeah, I'm honored. I'm very happy. Yeah.
Nico, I gotta ask you, bud, why bocce?
I mean, it's a good sport, and it's one that kids with disability and adults too can play.
That is such a good point. This is where I want to get Dad, Patrick, into the conversation, because I understand that you're also into bocce. So for folks who don't know, how exactly do you play it, and how did Nico become such an all-star in it?
Sorry, I'm laughing because I'm actually Nico's assistant on the court. So this is the one time he jokes about it all the time. This is the one time he gets to boss me around for
Okay.
a whole hour during the game. I have to do everything he says. But how we got into it was, just I saw a commercial one day, thought it was would be a good sport to get started in, and then we met up with some fantastic people in the sport and in the Whitby Ability Center, and then it just grew from there. It was just he just caught on to it so quickly. So we're just excited to be involved in it.
We're watching footage as you're speaking to us, Patrick, of how bocce is playing. Now, I'm sort of familiar with bocce ball. So you're trying to throw the ball at a certain target and try to get as close as possible, right?
Effectively, yeah, that's pretty close to it. Other than in bocce, you're using like fabric balls. So they're different
Weights.
like with different weights and different textures. So they roll differently. And then there's different categories as well. So Nico's with BC3, so he plays with a ramp. And then others throw. It depends on the level of disability.
Okay.
And
Susan,
what they play with.
Mom, Susan, let's get you into this conversation. So, Mom, how exactly do the two boys play together? Like, what are the mechanics here of the boss, who is Nico, and the assistant, who is Dad?
It is a funny dynamic, and I said that right from the start, because he was saying, you're smaller, you can fit in the little box, because the assistant has to stay in front of Nico and they cannot watch the game at all. So he just has to listen to what Nico's saying. Nico is telling him to set the ramp higher, lower, where to put the ball on the ramp, which ball to choose. And Patrick is just listening to him, and he can never turn around and watch the shots. And Patrick said, you're smaller, you'll fit in the box better, you should be the assistant. And I was like, I can't do that. I can't not watch. And especially when he'll make a great shot and there'll be applause, or if somebody will, and I think Patrick can't turn around to see what he did, right? Like, he has to just stay there. And the officials are there watching to make sure that all of the calls are being made by Nico and not Patrick. So it is a very strategic game, and the dynamic between them, sometimes watching from the sideline, I'm like stressed as there's a bad play or whatever, and I can see it on their faces and can say nothing. But it's wonderful that they can have this to do together. Okay,
Nico, this is a difficult question, bud. But think about it. Why do you think you're so good at it? Because there's a ton of adults that you're beating, and right now you're the best in the country. You're the best in terms of Parasport junior athletes. So what's going through your mind when you're playing? Why do you think you're so good at it?
I think it's...
It is a tough question, eh?
Yeah.
It's just, honestly, it's, his love of kind of science, math, physics.
Right.
He kind of sees through it, right? Where this game is pretty much what the distance of the ball, where you set it up versus, it's not just aiming, it's also strategy. He's very quick on the strategy side of it. So yeah, it's just kind of, it hits all his strengths, and just being able to, play that and have a good time with it is, just a bonus.
So, okay, Nico, let me ask you an easier question then, which is, how does it make you feel initially when you started realizing, wow, I'm really good at this. I'm better than most people. How does that make you feel?
It made me feel happy.
And sorry, honey, I don't mean to keep interrupting you. It's just the difficulty of not being in the same room, with the silly pandemic. We got to be so far apart. But have you been able to talk to other kids and, other kids with disabilities and stuff who feel like, hey, I don't know if I can play a sport. You have cerebral palsy, but you're still an accomplished athlete. So talk to me about how you're teaching other kids.
Well, I mean, I've played. So when I see other kids like me, and say they want to learn to play a sport at a national level or something, but they don't know how. So I say that I think that there's always a chance, and yeah.
And he's been very whenever there's an event of any sort, we've been very kind of busy, even doing videos and stuff like that to support Parasports. Anything that we can do to help.
We talk about it when we can. His class at school is when he was in grade 5, his whole grade 5 year came to the Abilities Center, and we did a whole bocce event for them. They played wheelchair basketball and they played bocce, and they got to learn about the sport. Nico's quite good about talking about it. He was the only kid in competition when he first started, and now there's some that are joining. So that's really exciting, and it's really fun for him to have another kid on the court instead of playing with all adults, which is how he started. Not that he doesn't appreciate that as well, and the value that there is to having people teaching him the game and the strategies.
Susan, what has Nico's talent and accomplishment done for his sense of self-esteem?
This is, it's wonderful, really. I mean, I have gone back a few times to just this week talking about being named this Junior Athlete of the Year, and remembering that time as an infant, and I had this little child in my hands, and we had gone through such a struggle to even have him survive. He was born at 24 weeks, and we found out he had cerebral palsy and that he wouldn't walk, and they weren't sure how well he would speak and if he was going to have what kind of control he would have. And I remember them, one of the doctors looking up at Patrick and saying, "Your dad, you're not going to get the athlete that you were dreaming of." And that was a hard pill to swallow at that time. And now here we are, and we've just been named Junior Athlete of the Year, and for Parasport. And I was like, well, look at that. It's amazing what you can do. And we're a pretty active family. We ski, we do lots of other things, and we just always involve Nico. And bocce just brings out that ability to play sport and to compete and to be competitive. He definitely shows that he belongs in the game.
Nico, you are such an inspiration. That just shows that from day one, bud, you have been a fighter, and you've always known that you can defeat the odds, and now getting this amazing recognition through sport. Do you want to go to the Olympics? Do you want to go to the Paralympics?
Yes, I do. I do. In fact, I'm trying to get to the Paralympics in 2024.
Oh, that's coming up fast. Okay, we are all going to be rooting for you. We're so proud of you. Congratulations, Nico. Congratulations, Mom and Dad. It is my sincere joy to have spoken with you. Congratulations.
Thank
you so much.
Thank you.
Bye, Nico. Mwah. Hopefully see you at the Olympics, buddy.
Bye.
Bye. Nico Iemma is this year's Parasport Junior Athlete of the Year, and we reached him and his wonderful folks in Oshawa, Ontario.